bills, as you are too, but you're on the inside. I don't get weekly packets. I don't get told the stuff. I didn't like the cancellation because of scheduling conflicts. Maybe I should buy the city administration a calendar so they could use it too. Just very discouraging government. Item 3 you just added to me. At 6 o'clock tonight you had a finance committee meeting. Certain council people raised some valid objections about a certain contract that the city was basically about to enter in with Arts Quest. At 7 o'clock during your council meeting, that disappeared. What happened in that hour? I missed something. I didn't miss it. I think I know what happened, but I can't talk about motivations. I think City Council should seriously consider changing the name of the city to Arts Quest, Pennsylvania, because we have a case of the tail wagging the dog. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Mr. Shire, and the lady. Mr. Furler. Then Mr. Shire.
Liz Bradbury, 427.5 North 9th Street in Allentown. I'm going to be speaking as an Allentown Human Relations Commissioner, and I'm the investigator right now. I'm the volunteer investigator to implement the ordinance in instances of discrimination where a complainant comes to me or comes to the city, and then I investigate the complaint. Because I have the right to subpoena power, the commission has the right to subpoena, has the right to leveling fines. It doesn't get to that stage. If you want to ask somebody something, then you have an opportunity, or I have an opportunity to say, we need to talk about this. And if the person says, well, I don't want to, I can say, well, I could subpoena you. And then they talk. It's kind of like having a parking meter that doesn't work, and it doesn't work. People are unlikely to put money into it. If you are somebody who has the right to be able to say to a respondent who has been a person who probably or may have discriminated against a complainant, it gives me an opportunity to say to that respondent, we really need to talk about it, and we need to work out conciliation. Otherwise, these other bad things can happen. It rarely gets to the point where we end up having, or in fact, in my memory, it hasn't gotten to the point where we've ever levied a fine or even had to subpoena. But that's because we can, and that's why that has to stay in place. It really does. That's why all the cities have that in their laws, and the state has it in its law. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shire.
I'm going to get Bill Shire, 1898 Avenue. We're going to get in a little bit of trouble tonight, more than usual. I regard myself as a reasonably intelligent person, but I must have been missing something tonight, because what I heard was the Catholic Church being criticized for proposing the explicit inclusion of other religions. Maybe I'm missing something. If Al-Qaeda was listening, I hope they didn't think about it the way it seems to me. Not that Bethlehem is on the front lines of the war on terror. I'm not a Catholic, never have been. But I think when the origin of the language was brought into question and identified with the Catholic Church, the line was crossed into motivation. And that's a no-no under Robert's rules. I think the language, the amendment, should stand on its own. And that's the same paragraph in Robert's rules. You weigh the language on the basis of what it says, not where it comes from. Thank you.
Mr. Carroll.
Thomas Carroll, 248 East Union Boulevard, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We've heard many people get up and talk about the reasons why you needed to be putting forward this legislation, and it's compelling and it's necessary, and you did the right thing by bringing it forward. But then, as actually two of the speakers at the courtesy of the floor just mentioned about how you conduct your meetings and the Robert's Rules of Order, you allowed, and without gaveling down, a speaker to talk about motivations, and in a sense, at the same time, putting forward a tremendously important piece of legislation to spew hatred for the Catholic Church. And it was unacceptable, and it should have been gavelled down. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grubb? Mr. Spadoni?
To weigh in on this discussion, I don't think it was questioning the motivation of the vote. And I would agree with Mr. Shire that clearly is not only the Robert's Rules of Order, but the Rules of Council. I think it is appropriate, however, to delineate where it came from and how it came to council. I don't think that goes to the motivation of the voter or the council. It's transparency, and that's where we got it. And I think it should be, if a council person likes to put that forward, they certainly have that right.
Mr. Grubb?
Danny Grubb, 2420 Henderson Place. I just want to share Bob Fenning's kind of confusion as to what happened between a finance committee meeting and the full council meeting tonight concerning the use permit agreements for Music Fest and Arts Quest. There seemed to be an interest in looking at a transition, and somewhere between probably about 6:30 and later, it just evaporated. The other thing I just wanted to kind of explore, over the last several months, there have been a number of major announcements in the Lehigh Valley about some business moving in to the Stabler Center and out in the Macungie Industrial Park off of Route 100. We have Avantar, Ocean Spray, Bazzini, Nuts. They've all seen fit to relocate major portions of their operations, if not all of their operations, to the Lehigh Valley. But none of them is located in Bethlehem. And we're sitting on what is the largest brownfield in the United States. And I'm just wondering, given the advantageous location of that brownfield and its potential for development, why maybe we aren't working so well with Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation, what we're missing when it comes to attracting these nationally known businesses to the Lehigh Valley, and maybe what we might need to do in order to get them to locate on the former steel properties. But these were rather substantial announcements. Bethlehem is 0 for 3, and I'm very concerned about that we're not in the ballpark and swinging and hitting a few along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Gentlemen.
Robert T. Stevens of East Market Street, Bethlehem. Again, thank you for being here tonight. I always find your discussion intelligent and interesting to listen to. Just quickly, the comment that Councilman Dolan made about the making a boogeyman or a boogeywoman out of someone, I don't know. I believe that it arises out of fear. I think that that's true. But I think even more so, the more rational approach to that fear is not so much that there's going to be sexual harassment or rape or something horrible of that nature, but that a parent with a religious view, or well, anyone for that matter, to encounter the society, the city, to be accepting something that contradicts their beliefs. I think that's what was trying to be expressed. I don't think that there is really as much fear about the bathroom situation or the fitting room, anything like that. But I do think that you did touch on something that I wanted to make sure that I spoke about before leaving, which was on both sides, whether you're for or against this ordinance, it seems like there is a level of either concern or fear that is at the heart of this. And I really enjoyed hearing the amendments, hearing you discuss those. I'm looking forward to more amendments and a rational ordinance that you guys come up with. I am still concerned. I didn't really even come here with fears in the first place, but concerns, yes. I'm still concerned for not religious organizations or even those at home. I think that will be addressed through City Council. I'm still concerned for businesses. Anyone who, for instance, who would go to my church and have a business in Bethlehem, if it's not a landlord, if it's not directly involved or tied to a religious institution, that there's still some ambiguity there. And I would like to see you speak further about that. So thank you very much for all of your help. Thank you for discussing this and letting me speak.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just want to say that I went to the farmer's market at Steel Stacks the other day. It was fantastic. I can't wait to see Mary Chapin Carpenter, and my husband's band has already played there, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about it. So I just have to put in a word there on the positive side, because I don't know why there's all this Arts Quest bashing that always seems to happen here. I read about it in the paper and just shake my head. I don't see anything but a net plus coming out of the organization in general. Also, I just wanted to add my concern about some of the amendments, and I really do hope that we can come to some resolution that doesn't gut the teeth of this, because the enforcement powers are what make this kind of amendment workable. And, you know, either you're inclusive or you're not. You know, if you're a business and you're in Bethlehem and we say these are our values, everyone is equal, everyone is welcome, then abide by that. I think we're doing great economically, development-wise. I'm not too worried about being 0 for 3 this week, because a lot of other stuff has come in. And we want to send a message to those employers that everyone's equal in the eyes of the law in Bethlehem. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Lady over here.
Let's see. I also agree with what a few other people said.
Your name just for the record.
Elizabeth Fear, 1403 Main Street, Bethlehem City. I again agree with what a few other people said, that it's really important to have the enforcement clause in there. Otherwise, you have no efficacy. What do you do? It's nothing other than a shame on you if you can't put some oomph behind it. And I urge you to reconsider the religious exemption fix, including the landlord language. I do rent out a home in my house, and I have people of different religions living with me right now, and while that's okay for me, I understand that somebody else might not be comfortable with that. And when it's your home, you know, and people meet with you, I think there should be a right to be upfront saying that this is my life, and I would like to keep my house this way. I can see that. And I agree, I wanted to second with Allison Ham regarding the publicizing of our addresses if things get published. It's really simple enough to edit out details or blur things out or just hit the mute button for a second to not release addresses. Everybody wouldn't be thanking us for showing up and speaking bravely if there wasn't an obvious risk to doing so. I had a full cup of coffee thrown at my car and somebody banged on my windows while at a stoplight because of the bumper sticker that said marriage equality. That was it. So I've had things thrown at my car, and I'd rather, you know, more than willing to engage with the opposition at any time, but not in my home, in the same way that I wouldn't be showing up in anyone else's sacred place to spout my opinion. Councilwoman Dolan, as a fellow Jew in Christmas City, USA, you know, we're in the minority, and I think there's got to be just a compromise there that you guys can find of just simply saying any religious group. The wording that was voted in with Amendment 16 is so, it's mind-boggling. You can't, like, I was actually circling the words that aren't a parenthetical phrase. It's very confusing, so I think you guys will be able to work that out, and I really hope you will do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? This meeting's adjourned.